Americans are spending like there is no tomorrow. Americans are spending big despite facing mostly depleted pandemic savings, a cooling labor market, and high interest rates and inflation rates. The primary driver of the U.S. economy is household spending. This remains robust as Americans spent 5.8% more this August than last August. This rate well outstrips the inflation rate of 4%. Households that made at least one large purchase in the last 4 months increased from 57% last year to 64% this year, which is the highest rate since August of 2015, according to the New York Federal Reserve Bank. The experience economy is booming. Delta Airlines has recorded a record revenue in the second quarter. Ticketmaster sold over 295 million event tickets in the first half of 2023, which represents an 18% year over year. Ally Bank allows customers to create different savings buckets for different goals. There are over 1.5 times as many buckets for experience-orientated things like travel and fun, in contrast to longer-term planning. Americans currently have a record amount of credit card debt. It totals over $1 trillion. The states with the highest credit card debt are Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. All three have average credit card debt of over $9,000. While it is common for consumers to put short-term needs and goals above long-term goals, the current circumstances are different in a number of ways. Americans are spending on once-in-a-lifetime experiences due in part because they fear they may not have the opportunity to experience them later. People fear regretting not doing things like taking an overseas vacation or splurging on a big-ticket purchase. An article in the Wall Street Journal mentions one man who spent $1,600 on a Taylor Swift Eras Tour concert ticket and then about $3,500 on a bachelor party. A family of 3 spent $10,000 on a 10-night vacation in Hawaii at a 4-star resort. Another man lowered his retirement contribution so he could spend $7,000 on an Alaskan cruise. And then finally, there's the story of a family that sold their home to travel the country with their 2 children. Many consumers have given up on the idea of ever owning a house. I've seen a lot of people discussing the idea of never being able to own a home. But I also think the idea of never being able to retire will also gain traction in the mind of many Americans in the years that follow, as people face economic uncertainty and high inflation and high interest rates. Despite what politicians say, consumers and Americans, they are frustrated about inflation. While it is true that inflation has fallen sharply in the past year, many Americans are deeply unhappy about the economy and often cite inflation as the primary reason. Prices for many things are well above their pre-pandemic price levels. The fact is that even though the inflation rate has come down, prices remain elevated, and that weighs against consumer confidence.